to score the touchdown to help put us up. You know, you talk about that with the way you are physical as blockers, the way you tackle, the way you get off blocks. Like, there's no, like, getting off blocks is not, there's never going to be it's not a way that it's a football thing, right? It's something that is designed to, you know, you have to strike somebody in the chest. And not only that, you have to take your hands and then throw them off you and finish with an arm rip or whatever you need to do, or your hand swipes to finish and to be able to go tackle the ball carrier. So, like, everything in football has to do with this. So, like, if I talk about football and it's always about team, it's always about physicality, it's always about detail, well, then I have to emphasize that. But again, make no mistake about it, that we look for that. When, you know, Howie and I talk about that all the time. We're looking for players that are physical football players. Because we know this is a physical game. And I think that I always feel like when we've played our best here is when we've really set the tone physically. But you can't do that without the players that we have. So I do think it's a both and, but you know, all the credit goes to the players because they're the ones out there doing that with their body.
Nick, in the past year, you guys suffered when Dallas went down receiving yards wise from your tight end position. Grant's obviously picked that up. Was there something you saw from him through training camp or through the offseason that has led him to be able to contribute that way?
Yeah, I think it all started with Grant when we first got him, and what we liked so much about him. I remember the rookie minicamp. Grant made some really unbelievable plays in rookie minicamp where we're like, yeah, we got something here. And we thought that obviously why we drafted him from his tape. But then, you know, I think that he's, you know, and opportunities that he's had here and there, he's made the most of it. And then I think he just had an outstanding offseason. You know, the OTAs portion of it, I think we've really started to just have more and more faith in Grant because of the work that he put in, because of the development that he had done. You know, Jason Michael's done a great job of helping him develop, and Grant's done a great job developing himself. Dallas takes a big pride into helping his teammates become better. And then he had, you know, a good training camp, and now he has this opportunity. He had this opportunity with Dallas down to have some balls thrown to him, and he's done a really nice job. And so, again, that guys taking advantage of their opportunities is huge. Like not only for your football team, right? Because guys are going to go down. Like Fred has stepped in and done a nice job. Tyler Steen stepped in and did a nice job. You know, Grant, Isaiah. It's huge for your football team, but it's also huge for these guys and their careers moving forward.
On Steen, you entered training camp on right guard, saying you didn't have to make a decision. You know, you've gotten offensive production with Becton or Steen in there. How do you view that position when they're both in the game, and how do you view that position now, 7 games into the season?
Yeah, we have great depth. Again, credit to Howie and his staff for the guys that they brought in here. Credit to Coach Stout to developing that, and Kellen to help develop that talent. And then the credit to the guys of being ready to step in. And I think that, you know, Tyler played a really good game. Mekhi's been playing really good football. Tyler played a really good game. Tyler, you know, played a good game last year when he stepped in and helped us win a divisional game last year, a division game last year. And then, but yeah, I have a lot of faith in both of them. And you know, it's been those guys having those combo blocks with Lane have been exciting to watch, and when those guys have combo blocks with Cam, they've been exciting to watch. Again, going back to the physicality of how those guys play.
Nick, you just mentioned all the backups who've had to play bigger roles. How do you get guys to buy in to being backups and preparing like they're going to play, even though they might not?
Yeah, you know, you talk about it. I think first and foremost, you tell everybody what their role is, and I think that's just the honesty of being, hey, here's what your role is, and then but understand that in this game that any moment at any time your role can change, and you can have an elevator role, and you could also have a decrease role if you're not, you know, performing the way you need to in practice. And so it's like we talk a lot about practice and how you get better is that high intensity of practice. Well, these guys are going, you know, for instance, Tyler, you know, is going against Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams in practice frequently on the scout team to help himself, you know, to help them get ready, but also to help himself get better. And then you really celebrate it when you celebrate it when the guys do come in and they perform. Like that's not new. Like I think back a long time. Like Jack Driscoll has stepped in and played some meaningful games for us that have helped us win a lot of football games. Nate Herbick, name from the past that helped us. I mean, the list goes. You know, Landon wasn't starting right away, right? And then he came in and he ran with that. Cam, right? And so the stories are endless, and all. Again, you talk a lot about controlling what you can control. Okay, you didn't win this starting job, but now control what you can control and just continue to be better, get better. And when it's your numbers called, you got to take advantage of that by the preparation. And you never really know when that's going to happen, so you always got to be prepared. And that's why every week is so critical of putting your head down and working and not worrying about anything else other than the things that you can control. I mean, shoot, I think that you talk to our players and they're going to say, I mean, I think that'd be something that they would say a bunch is like you create a culture and you create a mindset of all these things that are important. And I think that's been one thing that's been really important.
We saw Jalen get late into some of his progressions, maybe a little more so this past week than previously.
Say that one more time, Jeff.
Some of Jalen's completions were late into his progressions. Did you notice that? And has there been
like number 2, 3, 4
2, 3,
receiver?
yeah.
I think he did.
You guys been working on to help him in that regard?
Yeah, I think that's just the him getting through his read and getting to the guy that's open. Again, you always want to be on attack and you always want to go to where you want to throw the ball, but that's not the reality of playing quarterback. And so, I thought it was really good. Like, I thought what he did really well, particularly in this game, is like when he had that time. Like I think there was one that he hit AJ over the middle that he had to hold on to and let the second window clear. That doesn't happen without the protection of the offensive line and the run action of the running back and the quarterback. And so, and then just from that, it's just something that we've seen him do, and particularly in practice. I know last week he got down to his check down multiple times, and then it showed up. It's awesome when it shows up in the game. I just think, again, he's playing quarterback at a high level. Playing quarterback at a high level is not just throwing the ball accurate. It's going to the right place with the ball, and the right place with the ball could be their third and fourth read.
On the conversation of specific roles, what is Jahan Dotson's role?
Yeah, again, I don't get into with you guys as far as this is this person's role. That's kind of something that I have with our team of, hey, this is what your role is. This is what your job description is. Here's what we need you to do. What I will say though is that I know the ball didn't come to Jahan on Sunday, but I did notice him blocking his butt off and helping our run game go. I think there's a play on Saquon's bubble that we threw to him that he got a block that allowed Saquon to, he played tough and played strong and was able to, to get that block. And I see him improving every day, just being around the guys that he's around. Aaron Moorhead's doing a good job, and he's doing a good job of getting better.
When Doug was helping you out with the roster, did you get a sense like how excited he was, or if he was excited about Jalen's future?
Yeah, again, that's a long time. I don't want to get too much into the conversation. Again, Doug helped me, just talk through things, other coaches, everything. And so, like, I don't want to get too much into that conversation. But I know how, I know Doug thought, you'll have to ask Doug. I think he thought Jalen was pretty darn good, though.
Two more folks. Last year, you said that a point differential is not something you pay as much attention to. But these double-digit wins from like an isolated game perspective, does that matter? Do you think that says something about a team when you can win big?
I always like, I think we look a lot at things and like, man, that team won a really gritty game. Like, and we celebrate that. And I think that we celebrate at times when you win by a couple scores and you're able to get your starters out. So a win's a win, and they're hard to come by in this league. And right now we got 5 of them. We got 2 non-wins, and we're going to continue to try to work this week to get the 6th one.
You mentioned Cam a couple times. Somewhat large sample size now. He had big shoes to fill. We kind of don't even talk about him now because he's playing so well. Anything surprising about Cam and his ability to step into that role?
I think that there were questions. There weren't questions on Cam being able to do that role because he was we got to see him play last year. You know, it wasn't like, I mean, that was a really unique thing that Cam was able to go through, of being Jason's backup for a year and then playing alongside Jason, and then, you know, taking Jason's spot when Jason retired. And so, like, I think we all expected Cam to do this because we've seen him play at a high level. And it's going to be a little different that he's playing a different position. But, yeah, no surprises on our end, and really pumped how Cam's playing, and you just got to keep going.
Nick, after the Bengals game, Jalen talked about the desire to have more of an imposing mentality as a team. He said it's something that he's been pushing for. What's an example of how he's pushed for that?
Yeah, I think when you know, imposing, I think we've talked a lot about that with our physicality, and how we go about, trying to win games. And like I said, every time we've been good here is, and played at our best, we've been a physical football team, and because of the men in the room. And so, I know, we're always constantly talking to Jalen about, and Jalen's always constantly talking about to us about what, what's comfortable with, what he feels good about, and you're just always trying to put him in positions to succeed. And so I think it's just the conversations you have throughout the week with the quarterbacks and coaches.
All right, thank you.